Peace. It is Shango's day. It is Tuesday, Mars Day. Let's get into it. I'm the Hood Mystic, representing www.hoodmystic.com. Another daily energy reading. The title of this video is Paying Attention. Like a lot of us are living, moving, grooving, looking, but who of us are paying attention? And paying attention, the key word that I want to pay close attention to is the actual word paying, like giving up energy and attention, like really focusing. And all of this speaks to the Mars energy that we're going to discuss today. Mars is in the first decan, and we're going to really get our moonwalk on. We're going to really get into our celestial moonwalk. What I mean is really moving with some empathy, really moving with some understanding, really understanding things at a empathetic level, you know, at a subconscious level. So we're just going to talk about some Mars placements with the astrology, look at some tarot, and then kind of tie it all in with, you know, the book of the day. But, oh yeah, before I get into this, let's shout out the Patreon fam, patreon.com/the Hood Mystic. I see everybody, you know, putting in their bids for their monthly readings and things of that nature. I'll get onto that today, a little bit later on in the evening. But just want to appreciate everybody for supporting, you know, what is that word? Participating and everything. Like, that's always been kind of like a dream of mine, to kind of have like a site or a program where I could do readings for people, and like this is something that I really wanted to do. So I could want to do it all day long, but if people ain't participating, then I could just be wanting to do it. So the fact that people are participating makes it that much popping, that much popular. So if anybody wants to deal with it or get on with it, that's patreon.com/Hood Mystic for all details. So what's going on, man? Mars is in the first decan. The first decan of Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. And basically it gives you a vibe of deeply examining your desires. Like really understanding what you want out of life. And the analogy that comes up is the actor in the stage play. The actor in the stage play is very technical, and he can make you believe in something that is not even really there. And so this concept, this theme of the actor and the player in the play is going to be a theme of this video, because it's going to show up in many different areas of our lives, in many different understandings. Many different areas of our understanding. And really what I'm speaking to is Mars in conjunct Moon in Cancer. Yesterday, the moon was in Cancer, and I felt that energy. I felt that energy on a deep level, and I realized why I was feeling that energy yesterday. I had a good conversation with Mook over at So It Is Written. If y'all haven't subscribed to our channel, you better do that. So It Is. We were talking, we were texting, and we were having a lot of synchronicities on the different variations of the energy and paranormal effects and all of this that's going on. And so it's a deep thing that's going on in the planet, but even at the same time, we may be thinking that it's some personal shit that we need to do. And so if I'm an actor and if I'm a play, it's kind of hard when you got some real shit going on too. It's kind of hard to show up at the job. It's kind of hard to show up in your relationship when you really going through some real shit. And then you got to kind of weigh on how you should, should you put all of your energy into this real shit? But it's kind of abstract and kind of obscure, or do you want to keep doing the same stage show that you've been doing, the same song and dance that you've been doing? And then you have to kind of factor in the results. Generally, if you do good at the stage show and you just keep doing the same thing that you've been doing, you'll keep getting the same shit that you've been done got. And trying to get to a point where we try to navigate deeper into what we truly want. And Moon in Cancer is such a tricky place to be. My moon is in Cancer. I know what that feels like. So superficial, so materialistic, so caught up into what you want. So much so that you'll forget your whole purpose in life, trying to get something, and then you'll get it, and then you'll just be sitting there with it like, wow, I really just gave up 7 to 10 years of my life for this piece of paper. Wow. And so how to really navigate or understand this Moon in Cancer energy is to really look beyond, really get through to the, if we're thinking about Cancer, we're thinking about being connected to other beings, other souls, other situations. We can't be so caught up on ourselves. And so this is really this Mars in conjunct Moon in Cancer energy. What else is happening is that Mars is opposed the nodes. So Mars in the first decan is very much factoring in different kind of disappointments and different kind of things to make yourself better, because it's ruled by Saturn. The thing of making ourselves better, the thing about dealing with certain disappointments is that we tend to get hung up on the fact that we're disappointed and we never get to the point of getting better. Now that you have Mars opposed the nodes, and really you're deeply examining those desires, and you're really trying to understand, this deeper level shit, really trying to understand it, because you have Mars in a position where shit is not going the way that you want it to go, based upon you not realizing that there's deeper things than what you actually want to happen. And so there's two different worlds. There's a people who's letting it flow, understanding the energy, letting the energy guide them, and then there's people who don't give a shit about the energy. They're just going bulldoze over some shit and not really utilize the modalities of what it means to be a human being. What do I mean? Well, there's a such thing as visualization. There's a such thing as manifestation. There's a such thing as spiritual energy that is very high and thick in the planet now. This is what me and Mook talked about yesterday. Like, literally, the veil is thin. And this is not some just conjecture. Like, I talked about it in my new moon video, Form Follows Function, or the full moon video, rather. Ancestral Fortnight, rather, where I said for 2 weeks the veil would be thin and the things that we could begin to do. And you know, when you say things, sometimes you say a lot and sometimes you forget, but this is one of those things that I said that was real shit. The veil is thin and it's not going to, like, make your life normal or regular. You gotta kind of get out of that mode. You gotta really not be fearful with this spiritual energy, because it can be very strong. And from that, you have to really understand that since the veil is thin, what can I begin to do? Why is it thin? And you have to look beyond your life, and you have to really factor in your dreams, factor in your visions, factor in your goals, factor in a host of things that can get you to a better place. My apologies. Technical difficulties. And so ultimately, understanding that this energy opposed to nodes is really one and the same. They're the blocks that you're experiencing, because I know how human beings are. They are very mindful of what they want. You know, they're very headstrong. You know, I want to do it this way, and this way is how it's gonna be, and you know, I don't want to hear what nobody else gotta say and all of this other type of stuff. But the reality is that there are other there's other shit going on. And the more that we can kind of take a step back and pay attention and realize there's other shit that's going on, the better our lives would be. The more that we try to, you know, be on some Mars shit, literally, without, you know, factoring in the inconjunctions and the oppositions and the squares. Like, oh, yeah, I got this energy. Yeah, I could, you know, bulldoze some shit. I could, you know, cause some ruckus. But I gotta really use my mind and, you know, navigate this shit, because this shit ain't normal. This shit ain't normal at all. And if we not fully understanding, you know, our law of attraction, we're not understanding, you know, our root causes to shit, and we're just simply like, you know what, I want to do it because I want to do it and I feel like doing it, and you know, I'll just deal with the consequences later, then that's what you're gonna have to really deal with. And that's what we've been dealing with for, you know, years now. And it's really like very difficult, very hard to understand the fact that you are not a human being, that you are more than just a human being, that you are a consistency of different, you know, electrons, protons, neutrons. You are energy. And from that electric energy, this is the magnetic force that brings all different types of experiences into your life. And the reality is that you don't know that you're this energy, so the people that know that you're this energy take advantage of this energy and manipulate your energy. And now, you know, it gets you on a path of, you know, marriage, kids, dog, picket fence, retirement. Everything is like pre-programmed for you. And then it's something on the outside of like tapping into your energy and seeing how this shit really manifests, seeing how this shit really works, really talking about this shit, really having this experience. really understanding that, you know, it's more than meets the eye. And the only way, then see another thing, is like, I can pay attention to shit. I can realize some shit. I can start a whole YouTube channel, you know, do a whole website, and be always talking about this information. It don't really matter though, because if you not going to pay attention to your shit, because me and you, we not in the same place. I'm in Columbus, you wherever you at. You need to pay attention to the shit that's happening around you. Very important. And then factor it in to the fact that it's not like somebody gonna tell you on the news. You gotta be like, damn, this is a discovery. Like, this is some real ass shit. I have to cultivate it. I have to protect it based upon me paying attention to my surroundings. We can get so caught up in our head and then expect everybody else to be paying attention to your city, your surroundings, your life, your livelihood. It's not necessarily gonna work that way. We gotta begin to pay attention to our own shit. So Mars square Venus is really speaking to the mask or the roles that we're playing in our relationship. Remember when I was talking about the stage play earlier? This is not something that's gonna go away. So if there is trouble or, you know, little hints to your relationship that this shit ain't really what it's cracked up to be, the Mars in you should do something about it. Find those core issues in those relationships, because as we go with this Venus retrograde and we deal with this new moon at 15 degrees, you know, 15 degrees Libra, where it's all about cooperation, it's all about relationships, and it's all about realizing the type of relationships that you want to have. This Mars square Venus is clearly showing you the relationship that you don't want to have, and 9 times out of 10 that relationship is showing up right in your bedroom. And understand that relationships, marriage, and, you know, how we relate to each other in the realms of consciousness, this is the final frontier. We have broke so many barriers and so many thought constructs in this conscious community. But the thought construct that is killing us the most, the one that is hurting us the most, the one that, you know, we never really talk about, we never fully deal with, and if we do deal with it, we're just trying to get, you know, you back with your boyfriend or you back with your girlfriend. It's never the fact of, hey, maybe we weren't supposed to be together, you know, maybe we're supposed to talk to multiple people, you know, maybe I'll be okay if I don't get married. You know, all of these different types of things that as we progress as human beings and we understand life, consciousness has got to deal with relationships too. You can't just leave church and act like, oh, that was the only illusion that I had to deal with. Jesus, now that I got that through, everything that I see is factual. But I'm saying the things that you see, and if they affecting you in a negative way, then there are some core issues that need to be dealt with, and this is the final tier, the final frontier of consciousness. You know, it's so many people that do all of the conscious shit from, you know, the meditations, the rituals, the cleansings, all of, you know, all, you name it. Conscious kings, conscious queens, but then they'll go right home to a toxic relationship. They'll go right back to a bad situation because they don't want to bring consciousness into the relationship. You know, there's a little fun shit on YouTube, passing out memes and joining little groups and doing little cleanses and you know meeting people and all of this type of stuff. Well, what about your relationship? That ain't none of your business, Mystic. We ain't talking about that. We trying to manifest some money now. You talking about my relationship now? What does this have to do with anything? You know, it has a lot because you're sharing energy, and that energy becomes one thing. And, you know, the reality is what this energy is creating throughout the community, we're not liking it. So it's just something to be mindful of when if you're interested in consciousness and you feel yourself developing, you feel yourself transforming, but then you look over at your girlfriend and she's like, "Can we go to the mall already?" And it's just like, damn. It's something that it's something that you must change. It's something that you must alter. And my advice, I wouldn't necessarily worry about it. You will worry about it if you depended on another human being. And my thing is, you shouldn't be doing that in the first place. So anything that you could do for you to depend on yourself is good. And if you're healthy, you got a sane mind and all that, ain't no reason for you to be dependent on no stranger. And so finally, Mars trine Sun. Mars trine Sun is really the action that's going to get you to where you need to go. And it's really factoring all of this shit in, understanding everything that you're going through, and then bringing it towards the show. Because the reality is that we're all acting in some forms. Whenever we go to work, whenever we go to the store, we're doing some form of acting, some form of theatrics. And now the reality is that, if we're not focused on our show, then we're showing up. We're showing up wrong. We're showing up to the job wrong. We're showing up in different places wrong because we're not fully being guided by our supernatural. We're not realizing that the veil is thin and that there's a lot of purpose. There's a lot of guidance. There's a lot of, good shit that's available. But if we're so caught up in our mind and, I gotta figure it out, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, you're not really tapped into the Mars trine Sun energy, because a trine is inherent. Inherent mean nobody has to teach you, nobody has to tell you, nobody has to show you. Just once you get up to do it, you just naturally go do it. Now, but if you looking for shit, if you trying to sign up to these bullshit ass classes that these niggas got, that's not guided. Unless it is guided, then yeah, that is guided. But ultimately, the answers are deeply within inside of you. And no matter what you study and no matter what you learn, if you're not able to be open to that guidance, then you'll be simply stuck in your head. And if you're stuck in your head, you'll keep doing the same shit over and over and over again. Thinking with the brain is so comforting. You got your thoughts and all of this, and you just think that, my mind is powerful and I just know everything and I'm just making the right decisions because my brain feels comfortable right now. But what about your heart? What about your gut? Rarely do people speak to me from the heart. Rarely do people speak to me from the gut. Because I would know that. I would know the difference. So really understanding the different ways that you can really tap into this consciousness, tap into your energy, and let it guide you instead of you thinking that you know every damn thing. Cards. And so the tarot really helped me clarify this message a little bit. Because, with difficult messages and things of that nature, where it's not just something that is easily accessible, I need more information. I need more backup. And so the first card that we got is the Hermit, representing emotional maturity and really knowing yourself on an energetic level and knowing the things that benefit you versus the things that are harming you and really holding you back. And simply knowing that is not enough. For so long I knew that eating meat wasn't good for my body, but I still ate it. I knew it, but it didn't matter. Only until I started to act. Only until I started to realize, I need to start doing this shit. And that's what made all the difference. I think intuitively I be knowing all of the things that are good for me, but in my mind I'm not really there yet, or I'm not really ready. But when I actually do it, it's like, damn, I been knew I should have done this. And so I'm just saying that to say that into yourself, even like when you meet somebody, it's like, I don't think this is gonna work. But they'll be extra persistent and they'll buy you all the right shit that you need at that time. You needed some gas. They came with the gas can, and it's like, damn, gotta give you a chance. And here you go 10 years later, giving a person a chance. And it's like, you really need to examine that stuff, you know. Tough stuff. The Hangman. Ooh, it's upside down. And so the Hangman is really talking about really looking at things from the mind versus looking things from the feet. And the feet being deeply connected to the ground and really grounding, you know, really connecting to the earth, really connecting to the energy. And it's like grounding, connecting to the earth. That sounds weird and esoteric. What are you talking about? Well, if you look outside and you see the trees and you see the grass and things like that, how are they actually growing? Well, there's an energy from the earth that, whether it rains or not, like, the grass is out there, the trees are growing and things of that nature. That's an energy from the earth. Like, the trees are grounding all day. That's all a tree does, is ground. And you look how tall it gets, you know. If you could ground for 20-30 minutes a day out in nature, just walk outside with no shoes on, like, simple stuff. The Hierophant. The Hierophant is my ancestor card or my spiritual guide card, and really it's like making sure that we're not forgetting that point or that aspect throughout the day. Simple shit. Like, I can't forget about the ancestors like that, you know. I could forget about it very easily, you know. I get some attention, things get busy, my kids need stuff, my wife needs stuff, my family needs stuff, I get caught up, my phone's ringing, I get emails, like, you know, I can forget very easily. So I'm saying this to say, like, I need to really understand, at least during these 2 weeks, throughout this to the 8th, you know, for these next 6 days, really factor in the ancestral influence from my grandmother to my grandfather. Really honor them, really do some spiritual work in regards to the ancestors, and like set some time apart, like really connect to them, because I feel like that's the solution. That's really an answer into that, you know. The Five of Discs. The Five of Discs, the title of that card is worry. And when we speak to worry, we're just speaking to the patterns of negative thinking. We could get so caught up in negative thinking, and that creates the worry. So generally, you might be going through a lot of shit, but you're not really caught up in the pattern of negative thinking, so you're not necessarily worried about it, and that's good. And I only say that for the people that's not. You know, it's people in good situations, right? Good ass situations, but they got a pattern of negative thinking, and that's creating a worry, like, oh my God, what if I'm gonna lose this good ass situation? And then you got somebody who ain't got shit, but that's just positive, like, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and they in two different spaces. And so, you know, this is how the top can come down, and this is how the down can come up, by having a particular attitude. Really. And then the Fool. The Fool is really becoming aware of the possibilities of dealing with your energy, and really not thinking about it in a sense of, you know, I ain't gonna be shit, this is bad is about to happen, I'm afraid, and all of this. If you ever seen a fool don't think on that level. A fool is just like, just clueless to what's going on around them, but it's a good thing, because they're able to tap into what's true and tap into what's real. Peace. Peace. The Prince of Discs. The Prince of Discs is attuning to your reality, and not just your reality in the sense of the things that you can see, but your reality is really everything. It's all of the energy. It's everything. and really attuning to that and really bringing that forward, that energy, and stop being so dense, stop being so like afraid to go to the deeper sides of things. Like, be a little bit more metaphysical today. Do something different. Switch up the energy to really attune to your senses, to see through the veil. Pay attention. Paying attention. And so this is a good book. This book is very mundane, but what it did with me, it allowed me to be spiritual. It allowed me to tap into different lifetimes and things of that nature, because it really showed me how my mind works with the art of visualization. And visualization is a skill. If you don't visualize normally, even I think we all visualize, but really directing and consciously visualizing things that you want to manifest is something that is very powerful. And if you don't know how to do it and you're simply visualizing things unconsciously, then you're bringing that into your life. You know, Moonwalking with Einstein was just one of those books, man, that allowed you to use your mind. And it was written in such a way that your mind had to be used. So much of our lives, so much of our world, so much of our upbringing, so much of our schooling, so much of our education, so much of everything is about not remembering shit. Whether we have a book, whether we have a tablet, whether we have a notepad, and all of these things are just a realization that we don't remember shit. Because if we remember shit, we wouldn't have to write shit down. We wouldn't have to have any books. We wouldn't have to have anything. We would be remembering with our mind. And then it's like another thing like, well, we need this shit. Do you? When you have millions of history, human history that hasn't been written down or, you know, hasn't been recorded. My thing is that they were using more of their brain. And when we begin to use more of our brain, we don't need to do shit like everybody else do. We operate on a higher level. And so we have to begin to investigate the different parts of our brains and activate some of that shit. We can't be out here dumb. We can't be out here stupid. So we gotta learn ourselves at a deep level, or else we gonna be hoping that somebody tell us about ourselves, and the reality is that whoever's gonna tell you about you is gonna lie to you. So they can manipulate, or they could, you know, and they won't even tell you about you. They'll tell you about something outside of you that's greater than you. And the reality is that there is no such thing as that. You have a whole inner psychology, inner being that is ready for war. And when I say ready for war, I literally mean that. You know, these spirits is ready. The problem is that we're not prepared. Nobody has been preparing us, and the little people that have been preparing us, we haven't been paying attention to them. So today is a weird day. I just had some stuff to do early in the morning, so I had to kind of get this video up and off. And I just kind of been dealing with this information and trying to deal with yesterday and deal with all this information and still kind of do these daily energy readings. And I'm gonna be honest, it's not that easy. It's easy to like record a video and hit play, but to prepare and to really be focused in on what I need to say and focused in on what I need to do, that's not that easy. And this is just one of those days where it's like, okay, this is not the best day. I'm not in the best space, you know, energetically. but this is why I love doing this, dude, at the same time, is because if I ever needed to get back on track, if I ever needed to help myself, I have a good way to do it, you know, by understanding this energy and realizing that, like, oh shit, I need to do more connecting with the ancestors. I need to really look outside of myself, because I was really in my moon in Cancer yesterday. I was really trying to manifest some shit. I done threw on my whole suit and tie and everything, had the suit jacket with the hat on, trying to make something happen, and then it wasn't happening for me. And so I was like, damn, this is making me feel a certain type of way. This is disrupting my energy. But I don't know. It was like I really wanted it though. Like, and it wasn't manifesting the way I wanted to manifest, but it was so out of character at the same time. So I was like, wow. I felt very much split yesterday, where I wasn't completely whole. And what was the problem? Like, what was going on? I wasn't connecting, you know. I was so much into that moon in Cancer and that luxury and just trying to live my best life when I'm forgetting that I'm already living my best life. I forgot that yesterday. And so connecting to the ancestors, realizing that the ancestors have high influence during this week, is something that we're going to take closer attention to moving forward with these daily energy readings. What I'm going to begin to do today, you know, play some catch up today. That's what I'm going to do anyways. Play some catch up, build on my energy, and then move forward. Because I realized, you know, doing this live, where I messed up at yesterday. I was very much in my ego. And I guess being in your ego isn't bad, but for me and the work that I'm doing, the ego is nothing that has gotten me nowhere. So it's very much of something that I gotta kind of reel back in and kind of understand and get back to work and really deal with these ancestors, man. Like, for sure. I've been cooking, like, well, for the first week I've been cooking a lot of food for them, and then this weekend I kind of got off of it. Now I'm back home, so I gotta think of something else to do besides cook. Maybe throw together a little ceremony or something. Definitely gotta clean up too. Energy is much scattered, and a lot of like clutter and things of that nature is definitely not the time for that. Definitely not the time for that. So doing a little self-talk right now, because I could like act like I'm talking to people out there and I'm like this master or some shit like that, but literally it's not like that. The growth and development of this channel has been based upon me talking to myself and people connecting to that concept and really growing from that. When I look at other people, when I imagine you guys, I really imagine some great people, man, some amazing people. And the realization is that y'all don't be feeling like that all the time. And part of my job is to remind y'all how great y'all are. And so this is, and not like in a pat you on the back or anything like that. It's very much deeply connected to the spiritual understandings of your astrological chart, you know, and then explaining who you are astrologically. This is what we do in the readings, you know. This is what, it's not like, you know, I'm lying or I'm trying to patronize you. I'm literally telling you about your celestial influence, and I'll tell you about your squares, I'll tell you about your oppositions, and we'll explain it. And deeper than that, I'll prepare a document for you that you'll have for a long time. So, and you get like, and with the readings, the full readings, they all come with a recording now, because I'm not even gonna charge for it because it's that much important. We can talk and build on all of this great shit, and then once the phone call is over, your mama call you talking about Uncle Ricky and all of this, and then you done forgot about everything that we done talked about in the damn astrology reading. So all readings come with a recording, all readings come with a document, and this is just basically what I do. Other than that, got the Cash App shirts right there. Yeah, somewhere. The link is in the descriptions if you want to buy that, under $20. And if you are a Patreon subscriber, you get 35% off on a shirt. So you probably get the shirt for like $14. You know what I'm saying? Dollar subscriber, you know, because the code is only on patreon.com. So, Raina, we need to talk. Make sure you send me a message today, or I think you got my number, Raina, so give me a call or send me a text. Other than that, just back to business. About to hop on this Patreon a little later and start answering these questions. Appreciate everybody over there at the Patreon family. Patreon.com/Hood Mystics. Other than that, man, just business as usual. Maybe tomorrow we'll get back on the good foot. I'm gonna really redirect my energy, get my energy really back to where it needs to be, and hopefully we can collectively do that, and we can, you know, begin to get right back together. Because, man, energy is so real, energy is so powerful, and the reality is that we're just human beings. And we have to understand how we control this energy, how we manipulate this energy, how we can navigate this energy, because when it hits you, it really hits you. Because I was really sitting back like, oh my God, like, man, it was very tough. Like last night, I don't know, it was very tough. It was tough. I'm gonna tell you why it was tough. It was tough because I wanted to do shit, but I couldn't. Like, I wanted to work on stuff. I wanted to study. I wanted to type. I wanted to do a host of things, but I couldn't. All I could do was lay down in bed, you know. And this was like, wow, like, and then that's when I knew, like, damn, the energy is kind of crazy. So today I'm not gonna play. I'm going straight to the ancestors, straight to the altar, and really rectify the situation, get some insight. And tomorrow we coming back full-fledged, full force with more information. Make sure to hit me up on the email, hoodmystic@gmail.com. www.hoodmystic.com is the website. Thank you guys for all your support, all y'all motivation. Keep this thing going. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.